The weather outside is frightful, but the sound inside is delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let the surround sound flow. Ah, this rhyme blows. Let's just go. Hello friends, welcome back. I'm Caleb Dennison, and even though this won't be the last video I do in 2023, I do feel like this video brings my year full circle in a way. If we flash back to the beginning of the year, Las Vegas, the massive CES show, there were lots of great TV, sure, but the show's standout shock for me, and for a lot of others, was the Nakamichi Dragon. Almost hard to call it a soundbar, but technically it is. Now, as over the top as the Dragon is, it got me hooked on experiencing the state of the art in soundbars, from the budget-friendly models right up to the wallet-busting, wall-shaking, ear-splitting, Dolby Atmos extravaganzas like the Nakamichi Dragon, and everything in between. Not gonna lie, it's been fun. I've watched more movie clips this year than maybe any year before. But it hasn't been all fun and games. I've plucked out some awesome picks this year, and there's something for everyone. I'm not kidding when I say that. There's something for you that you're gonna love here. I'm starting with the Roku Streambar. And folks, this is one of the most underrated, overlooked soundbars that you can buy. Plus, it isn't just a soundbar, it's kind of a Swiss Army knife, really. The Roku Streambar is a 4K HDR Roku streaming stick built into a speaker. So you can add it to a computer monitor and effectively turn that monitor into a TV. These things are great for dorm rooms, kids' rooms, kitchens, and I personally use one in my RV. I think they're a solid choice for all kinds of smaller spaces, and because it isn't just a speaker, but a streaming device too, it solves more than one problem at a very affordable price. Now, if you like the idea of the Streambar, but want to go with something a bit bigger and more robust sounding, there's a Roku Streambar Pro that I also highly recommend. It's just a plus-size version of the original Streambar and can fill up a living room nicely. Next is the most budget-friendly and space-friendly option that I think will work for the most people, the Vizio all-in-one soundbar. The model number, as much as I hate it, is kind of important here. It's the Vizio M213AD-K8. You can write that down, or you can just click the link that we put down in the description if you want to buy it, and I think many of you will, because I know this soundbar is going to resonate with a lot of you. Hey, my audio advice is better than my puns, I promise you. The Vizio all-in-one is just a stellar deal. It was a huge value at $199 back when it came out in 2022, but it's an even better deal now at about 150 bucks. Yes, it's over a year old, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and Vizio thankfully hasn't tried to reinvent the wheel here because they got it right the first time. If you want to significantly upgrade your TV sound, but you aren't interested in surround speakers or subwoofers, and I understand that's the case for a lot of folks, especially those who live in apartments or shared housing, or if you just want better sound for your bedroom, maybe, this all-in-wonder is the ticket. It sounds far better than you'll be expecting it to, with excellent dialogue clarity, some respectable stereo separation, full-bodied presence, and even some pretty impressive dynamics. Like, if you want to, you can crank this thing up and it will do a pretty good job of blowing your hair back. Oh, and hey, if you're one of my viewers who already bought this Vizio all-in-one, would you do me a favor and drop a comment with your thoughts on it? I think it'll help viewers to see real owners' opinions as well. Now, let's say you want big sound and you're down to have a subwoofer for that deep, visceral bass that benefits movies, TV shows, and music, but you're super tight on space. My go-to in this scenario is the Polk Magnifi Mini AX. I've been a big fan of every iteration of the Magnifi Mini, and this latest version, the AX, attempts to add spatial audio to the mix for a more Dolby Atmos dome of sound effects. And while it doesn't do that bit especially well, it really doesn't matter to me because the Magnifi Mini AX still delivers exactly what it needs to, and that is absolutely massive sound in a ridiculously tiny package. The subwoofer is way better than you're expecting it to be, and sure, the soundbar portion is tiny, but you will be blown away at how big the system sounds. And that's it. That's the sales pitch. If you want the biggest sound you can get in the smallest footprint, the Magnifi Mini AX is my top recommendation. It's got some other fun features in tow as well, but if you're buying this soundbar, it's to fill a very specific need, and it absolutely will do that. Okay, so we've got some super compact options. We've got all-in-ones, no subwoofer. We've got an option with a sub. How about a bread and butter, super budget-friendly 5.1 surround system with a subwoofer and surround speakers? Well, we're back to Vizio M series for that. The Vizio M series 5.1's model number is M51AX-J6, and again, you don't have to remember that. You can just click the link down in the description. Folks, at $300, this soundbar package just makes a ton of sense. In fact, it's really my top recommendation overall for any soundbar under 500 bucks, so long as you can accommodate the subwoofer and surround speakers. I'm so happy that Vizio managed to put together really good quality sound. This thing could easily have been too boomy or too tinny, and it is neither of those nasty things. It's just quality sound with the fun of surround sound and a nice bit of boom from the sub to bring it all home. Just keep in mind that the surround speakers are connected to and powered by the subwoofer. So for this setup, you'll place the sub somewhere around or behind your couch and then run the surround speakers from there. Not everybody likes that arrangement, so it's worth mentioning. But if that sounds like it will work for you, go press the buy button and prepare yourself to be pleased as punch. Okay guys, one more budget-friendly option before we move on to some premium stuff. I wanted to give you a Dolby Atmos option that doesn't break the bank, and shocker, it's another Vizio. Hey, Vizio just knocks it out of the park in the value department. And this Vizio M512A-H6 is my top pick for budget Atmos soundbar. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and try and convince you that you're gonna get the ultimate dome of sound effect from this soundbar like you would from some of the more premium options I'm about to cover. But what this soundbar does better than the previous Vizios I just mentioned is contiguous surround effect. And what I mean by that is that this Vizio Atmos soundbar paints a more seamless sonic picture around you. You get a little of the top-down effect, sure, but it's the seamless movement of sound around you that really sells me on this thing. It's about 200 bucks more than the less expensive Vizio 5.1 model, but I think that 200 bucks buys you a lot more sound and just a more fun experience overall. Now, I've got to give an honorable mention here to the Vizio Elevate soundbar. The Vizio Elevate has been a hit among my readers and viewers, and my brother has one and just loves it. It definitely brings in that Dolby Atmos dome of sound effect, but at 800 bucks, we're starting to tread into the premium territory. So stick with me and let's see what you think about the other options I'm about to tell you about before you make your final call. Okay, on to the premium stuff. The following options will all be at or above $1,000 and will all be excellent. The only question will be whether they suit specific needs for you. So I'll try to stay focused on the use cases, and then you can check out individual reviews for these if you want to dive a little deeper. I figured we should launch this premium section with the best soundbar system at or around $1,000, and for that, it was a tough call, but after deliberating with myself and some friends for a bit, I've got to go with the Samsung Q930C. Don't worry fans, the Q990C is definitely on this list too, but the Q930C just ticks all the boxes for $1,000 and frankly is going to be the most suitable choice for more people than the ultra premium Q990C. This is a big, beefy soundbar, which makes placement a little tricky, especially if your TV is on a media stand. The bar is wide enough that you'll need to push your TV back a bit to make way for it, and depending on how well raised up your TV is, it could obscure the bottom of your TV a bit. But its bulk and brawn is borne out in big, big sound. You'll be hard-pressed to find a soundbar with Dolby Atmos surround speakers that are so capable, and the sub is nothing to sneeze at either. I mean, yeah, for the most bang for your premium buck, the Samsung Q930C is just the ticket. The more research I did, the more I realized this soundbar is just not getting talked about enough. It is fantastic. Now let's cover some use cases we've already considered on the budget end. What's the best all-in-one premium soundbar for when you want exquisite sound but no space for subwoofer or surrounds? Well, I hate to say it, but I think it might have to be a tie between the Bose Smart Soundbar Ultra and the Sony HT-A7000. Now, before you go and get mad at me, I'll go ahead and give the top nod to the Bose here. The Bose Smart Soundbar Ultra is less expensive and its sound competes directly with the Sony HT-A7000. So if the one soundbar is all you need and all you'll ever want, there's no need to scale it up in the future. Buy the Bose. But if you like the idea of being able to add surround speakers and/or a sub in the future, Sony makes it a little bit easier and less expensive to do so. Maybe you pay a couple hundred more now, but when you decide to scale up later, you'll be happy you front-loaded your investment. Another soundbar system that lives in the $1,000 zone would be the Yamaha True X 50A with the True X 1A speakers added on as surrounds. Now, while this system isn't quite as beefy as the Samsung Q930C, the surround speakers offer some utility as they're also little battery-powered Bluetooth speakers that you can take anywhere. So what little you might lose in Dolby Atmos presence, you're gonna gain in functionality. Not everybody agrees that this is a smart take, but I like this system a lot. JBL also makes something similar, but I've not tested it, and I don't love that you have to charge the speakers on the soundbar itself. So the Yamaha gets my nod here. Okay guys, we're getting to the really good stuff now. I've got 5 more entries I want to tell you about, and you already know 2 of them are coming, so let's just get on with it. I have to take a moment to recognize the Sennheiser Ambeo Plus soundbar. For audiophiles, there's just nothing better. The Sennheiser sound is just so refined and so bougie. Also, you can get Sennheiser sub if you want, but this is one of the few options on my list that lets you BYOS. That's bring your own sub. So if you already have a subwoofer that you want to use or have one in mind, or just have very specific subwoofer needs or tastes, Sennheiser is good deferring to your particular proclivities. This next one isn't a soundbar system at all, technically, but it is sort of a home theater in a box system that is extremely good and wildly popular among those in the know. It's the Sony HT-A9. Now, you really need to add a subwoofer to this system. Sony makes 2 of them, so this system will end up costing between $1,700 and $1,900. And honestly, I'd recommend getting the better SW5 subwoofer. If you're gonna spend this much money, what's another 200 bucks in the grand scheme of things, right? But folks, the HT-A9 is just shocking. Sony's 360 spatial sound mapping technology is not just smoke and mirrors marketing, it is legit magical. This system will have you swearing that you have speakers where speakers do not exist. The Dolby Atmos effects, I mean, the entire surround experience really, is just shockingly good. Now, this system's look is not for everyone. The speakers are a bit bigger than they look in the pictures, and some features are reserved for Sony TV owners. Like, you can use some Sony TVs as the center channel in the system, but don't pass up on this system just because you don't own a Sony TV. Like I said, this thing makes it seem like there are speakers where there aren't, and the phantom center channel that this system creates will make you swear voices are coming right out of your TV, no matter where you place the speakers. It's pricey, but it is also phenomenal. Also, if you like sitting down to listen to music, then this system is the best one on the list for that purpose, in my opinion. But speaking of music lovers, we've got to talk about the Sonos Arc with Era 300s and Sonos subsystem. This system, man, it is hard to express just how good it is. I think it has to be my favorite entry on this list, actually. Sonos just gets so many things right. I don't know, there's just something special about the Sonos sound that a lot of folks are really warm to, myself included. Sonos has a slightly more laid back, I'd argue more musical approach than any other system on this list, save maybe the Sony HT-A9. And the most revelatory Atmos music experience that I've ever had came through this Sonos system. Is it expensive? Yeah, you bet it is. 2,500 bucks right now. But if you love music as much as you love movies and TV and want the most versatile audio system that fits a lot of spaces and doesn't involve speaker wires, a receiver, and a bunch of speakers, this is it. I big time love it. However, as great as the Sonos system is, it isn't the right choice for everyone. If music is a big priority, by all means, get it. But if you're focused on making a home theater experience awesome, then I think the Samsung Q990C is the way to go. It's still expensive at $1,400, but what you get for that money is monstrous. I mean, I'm not the only one saying so either. You will find universally positive reviews for this system across the board. It's the best surround system for most folks, and it tops this list. With that said, the Q990C is not the most badass, the most over the top, the most no compromise system on this list. That distinction can only belong to one system, and that is the Nakamichi Dragon. Look, there aren't a lot of folks that belong on Team Dragon. It's massive, it is heavy, it is hard to get, it is prohibitively expensive for most folks, but there is no denying that its sheer power, grunt, muscle, and just no compromise approach is awesome to behold. And I'm gonna stop there because when it comes to the Nakamichi Dragon, if you know, you know. And if you don't, you can always check out my full review. Thanks as always for watching, everyone. I know that was a big list, but I really wanted to make sure that I covered everyone. And hey, if you walked away knowing exactly which soundbar you should buy, would you let us know down in the comments? And please give this video a like if you appreciate it. We want to see it help as many folks as we can. I'll see you on the next one. And until then, here's 2 other videos I think you might like. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. If I was on a gig, I'd be fired.